to another video on Sir Codsworth, my 2002 Ford Focus SVT. If you're new, up above my head is a link to the last video where I worked on that car. Alright, for everyone else that's already caught up, here, I got some stuff to address in today's video. Some issues with the way this car is running that are pretty severe. This engine right here, powered by Sushi Very Tasty, is supposed to produce 170 horsepower. Mine, however, is not, and it likely hasn't made that much power in quite some time because there is a problem with the intake manifold runner control circuit. Before I get going with making my bash bar and getting the skid plate mounted up so I can mount the front bumper, I gotta get this car running correctly first. What's going on? Sorry, my magic trash can that makes the water soft decided to do its thing right now while I'm filming. I'm gonna do a quick little scan here to verify what my problem is. Which is P1518 IMRC stuck open. It's cable driven and each one of the runners in the intake manifold has flaps that close and open to aid in idle at low RPM as well as give a little bit of low end torque. Most people just delete it and tune it out, but this thing is absolutely gutless down low, and I know it's because that thing is stuck open. Or because of the fact that this thing only has 145 pound-feet of torque. So I'm gonna take this thing apart, which it looks like someone has already beat me to it, and this thing came out of a junkyard. I bet you anything also, the math on this thing is super gunked up. I already have a feeling it's going to be, so I should probably clean that while I have this air box off. Already, just after taking off the throttle body, I can see a couple issues with why this thing is running like garbage. First up, here's a vacuum line that has a bolt just shoved into it. Pretty sure that should go somewhere. Also, if you look down inside there, look how gunked up the throttle body is on this thing. It's nasty, so I need to clean that. In the air, look at the air box, that's bad. That and the K&N air filter that was in here is in dire need of a recharge. I was just doing a little bit further inspection down here. If you see this line that I'm touching with my finger right here, that thing is completely kinked and folded over. That's also part of the PCV system. Are you serious? Got it. See? It was completely collapsed right here in this bend. It's not supposed to look like a brontosaurus dick. Luckily, I ordered new parts. It even came with a little tinfoil condom on it. I also have this guy right here for the PCB. So this cable right here is what is sticking. I actually have it in the closed position right now. I just moved it off camera. The whole purpose of this IMRC right here is you can see the cable goes into the top of it. This thing controls with a set of contacts the movement of the cable when it is needed. So by having that thing stuck in the fully open position, it's going to decrease port velocity, which is going to drastically reduce your low-end torque, which you don't want on a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder that does not have direct injection. Doesn't have enough torque to begin with. It's weird that there's no hose clamps on this. I kind of want to put one on there. Then again, it is vacuum, so it's sucking it, not blowing it. Now that that's on, I want you to check something out. Look inside here where the throttle body mounts to, inside the intake manifold. I'm gonna move this cable so you can see what it does in there. It's actually a series of little black plastic runners inside the intake manifold that move when the IMRC is activated. I don't know why, I just think that's really interesting, especially because this car's biggest competitor back in the day when this was new, other than maybe the GTI, was the EP Civic Si hatchback, which obviously this doesn't have VTEC, but it does have that variable intake runner system, which is, it's really interesting how it works. Now that the throttle body and MAF is cleaned, I can put it back together, but I did discover something from doing a little bit of research online. That bolt that's shoved inside a vacuum line over there is actually supposed to be capped off from the factory. So the cap is probably just missing or fell out. But luckily I have these things right here, little rubber butt plugs that will do a perfect job of capping that off. This is probably leaking actually now that I look at it. I found something else though that was obviously a source of rough idle. I discovered this while cleaning. That is a ground wire that's actually supposed to be grounded to the firewall somewhere. That would happen. I'm so glad I have leftover bolts from the TT. This one fits perfectly for that ground wire. And thanks to Google, I found exactly where it goes. Right here behind the power steering fluid reservoir. I know it's not gonna be any better because I haven't touched the IMRC, but I just like, ooh geez. I just like testing things incrementally to see if they have any effect. Yeah. I desperately need to put gas in this thing. It is pegged at E and the gas light is on. I like how these glow green, that's pretty. Yeah, the cold start is correct now. It idles the way it should, but the IMRC is not working correctly, as I can at least tell so far. Now that I've ruled out everything else as a possible solution for this issue, I know it has to be inside here. And I'm gonna try to fix it before I go and order another one of these because they're super expensive. That is the sloppiest job of RTV I have ever seen. All right. Doesn't smell like burnt electronics. I think this is actually what drew me to working on cars the most, is electrical troubleshooting. I just love the satisfaction you get after you diagnose something and you figure out what it was and then you repair it. It's just, I don't know, it's fun. It's like a puzzle. Seriously. Look at that. It's out. I desperately need to do a vlog day video after this one though, because I am going stir crazy in this garage. I don't know if you guys can tell throughout this video, but I'm trying to stay focused on the focus so I can get this thing running correctly, and then, I don't know. So a couple of things to look for on here. One, obviously make sure this motor is still good. And then there's a set of contacts right here that need to be cleaned. They don't look that bad on this one though. And also I need to put some more heat transfer paste on that guy. Other than that, I'm just making sure nothing is swelled up or popped or burnt out. And on the back side, I don't see anything really messed up. The card looks fine, it's not burnt up. So inside here where the contacts are at, I'm just gonna take a little piece of 320 grit sandpaper and clean this little contact. Some emery cloth would work also, but I just want to get it done quick and this is effective. So now it should be good to go to put it back together. Just gotta put some of this heat transfer paste on this pad right here. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a really lot. Not the first time I had white creamy stuff all over my hands. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I wanna see if this thing actually functions correctly. This should be interesting. I'm gonna set up the camera and you guys are gonna watch, and I'm gonna start it and rev it above 5,000 RPM. Here goes nothing. Oh, it revs way faster than it used to. Yay! I fixed it, I think. It has horsepower and torques again. Now I need to drive it. See if I can do this without popping the motor out of its spot. Stay. So fixing that didn't do what I thought it was going to do. It's different. It has more power, but it has more power everywhere. And it's more responsive and just smoother overall. it just made a difference in the entire drivability of the car. I mean, the idle is nice and smooth, the air conditioning is blowing cold right now, temperatures are good, my oil pressure, oil temp are both good. I'm so glad I did that. It feels like a decent car now. And it's kind of quick because it's gutted. It's so tempting. I want to go fast and have fun, but I don't have the pads and the bars. I don't have a helmet, even though my head can't hit the bars. My headers are literally my skid plate. There's nothing protecting them or the AC condenser or radiator. So that is absolutely the next thing I need to do. I will have to say though, this has quite a bit of ground clearance. So this ride height I think will work just fine. Alright, so a couple takeaways. The snow tires actually work amazing in the dirt. I'm kind of surprised. Despite these things being designed for cold weather, they are holding up pretty decent. I mean, these are the back ones, but the front ones, I mean, the same thing. The front ones, yeah. They don't look like they're getting cut up or destroyed by the sharp rocks out here, so that's good. There is a distinct smell of exhaust and carbon monoxide inside the car because I don't have an exhaust on there, but don't worry, I ordered one. And the suspension is terrible. However, that is on the way as well. But so far, so much left to do. I'll just leave it at that. I wasn't anticipating this video having 3 days in it, but there's one more thing left I need to do to this car before I wrap things up. And also in the comment section below, what do you guys think about me doing potentially a vlog channel, a second channel on top of Sarahntuned, but just for miscellaneous stuff? Let me know what you think about that. It probably doesn't make sense to wash something that has paint that looks like this, but I am going to be doing body work on this thing and sanding all the paint down, so it just doesn't make sense to sand over dirt. Other than doing the belts and the idler pulleys, I'd have to say this car now is in perfect running condition, which is good because that means I can focus on other things. I haven't made up my mind on these door cards yet. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I'm not sure if I'm going to do aluminum sheets or plastic. I have to construct those here soon when I start fabricating stuff. Same with the back of the car, these big open areas, I'm gonna remove the speakers. I'm gonna have a bunch of holes. So maybe I should fill it in with the same material that I make the door cards out of. I don't have a lot of experience in this area, so I do know I'm gonna paint the entire shell and I need to know what I should do. There you go, clean car. I know that was probably not necessary to put that in a YouTube video, but I'm sure it made someone happy seeing me clean a car that absolutely didn't really need to be cleaned. These two always get all the attention when it comes to cleaning things. I had to clean something else. Anyway, I'm gonna start getting some sheet metal and some tubing together, so the next video you see on the Focus, I'm going to attempt fabricating. We'll see how well that goes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another. Bye!